We're a nonprofit advocacy group for the St. Johns River.
And our mission is to help protect the river.
Hello, welcome once again to the St. Johns Riverkeeper Show, the most exciting half hour on television. And I'm back here. I know, Neil, I'm sorry. Neil has a hard time keeping a straight face when I say that, but it is actually a pretty exciting show, I think, because we're talking about a very important subject on here, the St. Johns River.
Absolutely. And
I'm glad to announce that I'm back with Neil Armanjon, my co-host. Neil is your St. Johns Riverkeeper. I'm Jimmy Orth, the Executive Director of St. Johns Riverkeeper, and Neil, it's been a while since you've been on the show.
You know, Jimmy, we just figured that out. But, you know, that's not to say we haven't had an interesting guest. We have. I know we've had some of our staff, Kelly Savage and Tracy Mano on. And, yeah, it's been a while. So I'm happy to be back. There's a lot to talk about, and let's get into it.
Well, and one of the reasons that we obviously had other issues and interesting topics to talk about in previous shows, but Neil's been busy. I mean, there's been a lot of issues impacting the health of the river, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. First, as always, Neil, I'd like to share with folks a little bit about St. Johns Riverkeeper, who we are, what we do, if you could share for those who may not know.
We're a citizens group based here in Jacksonville. We believe the river is our greatest natural resource. We believe what's best for the river is best for all the communities that touch the river. And those simple guiding principles is what drives the work that we do every day. We're working on those of you who are watching the show's behalf, and most importantly on the behalf of the St. Johns River. We're nonprofit. We need people's help and support, and we're a membership-based organization, as we always say, and we need you to help us protect and restore the St. Johns River.
Well said, Neil, and as Neil said, we are an independent voice for the St. Johns River. We represent you, the citizens, and we represent your river, and we depend on you to do the work that we do. You can become a member by going to our website. It's very easy. On the home page of the website, you'll see Join St. Johns Riverkeeper. You can click there, fill out a short little application, join through PayPal, and we'll sign you up as a member, because we need you not only financially, but we need as many people to be a part of this organization, because your membership is a vote for the river. Exactly. And so we encourage you to do that. And you can also go to the website at any time and learn more about what we do, St. Johns Riverkeeper, and some of the issues we're involved with, how we're trying to resolve those issues. We also have a lot of educational information on that website too, Neil. I think that's something that we've been starting to do in the last couple of years, is offer a lot more really high quality educational resources. We have a website that we've developed that's basically a virtual tour of the St. Johns River, where you can see pictures, images, and soon videos about the river throughout its entire length. We have now a guidebook. It's not on our website, but we have a guidebook you can purchase through the website that we just developed.
A lot of buzz in the community about that.
And we'll touch on that maybe a little bit in just a minute, Neil. I just wanted to give everybody a overview of the type of work that we do at St. Johns Riverkeeper and how you can get involved. So check us out on the website, follow our blog. We keep you up to date with a lot of, I think, current information about some of these issues. And hopefully we'll see you at a Riverkeeper event soon too, because we have a lot of events. We're out in the community and try to be involved as much as possible.
Got some cool events coming up.
Absolutely. Well, Neil, before, let's go ahead and get into some of the issues that have been affecting the river. We've talked about on this show numerous times about one of, I would say, the most important issue that is affecting the St. Johns, or potentially going to impact the St. Johns, and that is the plans to take water out of the St. Johns River to be used, at least initially, for mostly for irrigation, but then eventually for drinking water. Could you touch on that a little bit and give us an update of where we're at?
We're, you know, Jimmy, this summer was really busy. People may remember us talking about Central Florida is using water at a rate that we know is not sustainable, meaning we're taking water out of the ground faster than nature is replenishing it. And the solution that's been put forth to kind of deal with that, and I hesitate to use the word solution, is put pipes up and down the St. Johns River and the Ocklawaha River and potentially other rivers to remove fresh water, to augment, as you said, irrigation systems where people will literally initially be using river water to water landscape and lawns. We talked about it, we challenged that issue. About a year ago, there was an administrative hearing in Lake Mary, which is in Seminole County. I always tell people we did not totally prevail. We made our points that taking water from the river would harm the river. That led to a decision that we were not, we were partially successful. We did not stop this permit. People may remember there was a huge public hearing in April where over 400 people went to Palatka to ask the St. Johns River Water Management District Governing Board to, deny that permit. They did not. So a couple of things on the legal front I want to update people on. That decision that was made in April, we have been working to appeal that. And we did, in August, file an appeal with the Fifth Circuit, which is the Court of Appeal that meets in the Daytona area. And I had a meeting with some of our attorneys yesterday. That decision, that court will probably rule sometime after the first of the year. So there's an opportunity for us to eventually succeed. The other thing, Jimmy, it's not nearly as I'm not nearly as excited about this next report. Many people have heard, but let me remind people, when we challenged that permit, we did it under the Administrative Code of Florida, meaning the public has a right to participate in decisions about natural resources that belong to all of us. We did that, with careful thought and consideration. And this spring, last spring, Seminole County, and through their attorney, filed something called a sanction against us. What I tell people, most people are familiar with the term called SLAP suit, which is simply a legal action that was filed against St. Johns Riverkeeper and the city of Jacksonville to recover the legal fees that were spent defending this permit. And so literally through the last several months, probably the last 3 or 4 months, we have been working very diligently and with great amounts of time and energy and resources to defend ourselves against that charge, because what's at stake here is millions of dollars of money. But I think even more important than that, Jimmy, this is simply an attempt to silence not only St. Johns Riverkeeper, because we dared to challenge this idea of taking water from the river. This will have repercussions throughout the state of Florida. Citizens who want to participate in these decisions will have to think twice because they're facing a threat of legal actions.
And let me say, Neil, just for the folks out there, we posted something on our blog, so that if you want to, after this show's over, go to our blog and read more about that hearing that Neil's talking about, because we attended a hearing where we had to
a couple of weeks ago in Tallahassee,
essentially defend ourselves against these what we think are baseless charges. And so you can read about our reactions to the hearing, what happened, and also some of the, as Neil mentioned, the repercussions and the precedent that this would establish if we were to lose this challenge. Now I want to back up real quick and talk about the appeal, because I think as folks probably can gather, we feel like we had good evidence to prove that this permit from Seminole County for the Yankee Lake facility would cause harm to the St. Johns River.
That was actually part of the judge's ruling, that it would indeed cause harm.
And I think, so we feel like we had good grounds for, we made a good case.
Yes.
We also felt like it was not in the public interest, of course. This, and also that Seminole County had not really demonstrated that they needed the water to begin with.
That's a critical thing, Jimmy, that the permit was for 5.5 million gallons.
An average of
with some days 11. But